The most precious gift that we can offer others is our presence. I'll be honest with you, I've kind of been going through a period of blah. That's the only way I could like describe it. Just a period of not wanting to be seen, not wanting to take up space, not wanting to be disruptive. And honestly, I really can't say why. I've been journaling about it. I've been, kind of just thinking about how I want to show up in the world. And I just keep getting this urge to just be disruptive, make people think, make people challenge what they do every day, make people realize that just because you've done something this way for all of your life doesn't mean that you can't change and evolve from that now. So here I am just speaking from the heart, just kind of saying what comes to mind versus having the whole, this is what I want to talk about next week and this is what I'm going to talk about the week after that, and having this whole content calendar put out there. I feel like that's not my vibe, and I'm in this journey of wanting to be more authentic. And not saying that I haven't been authentic. I've been very much myself in most of my videos and getting better and better at being in front of the camera. But I'm not showing up and talking, I think, in the way that I want to. I keep saying I should just go live. It's probably a better idea. Going live, and it's just you. It's just my emotion. It's just my personality. There's no edits. There's no perfect lighting. It's just me in front of a camera talking to people who care to watch. That is what I'm thinking about doing going forward. Matter of fact, I am going to do that going forward. So if you're interested in seeing me go live, let me know in the comments. I would like to know, I guess, when is a good time for you who currently are subscribed, since there's not a lot of you at this moment. I can definitely honor your schedule a little better than if it was a very large group. So if you guys are interested in me going live and chatting with you guys about various topics, or just having a conversation about life, definitely let me know in the comments. I would appreciate that. I'm not sure if you're like me, but when I think about how I changed since 2020, it kind of, I don't want to say disturbs me, but it kind of does. I used to be someone who was very outgoing and would always spend time with a lot of people. And I know at the time I was doing it drinking and stuff, but there was plenty of other times where I was going out on appointments for work and meeting with clients and really listening to, people's stories, really tuning into people, really sitting down and communing and vibing with human beings. And then 2020 kind of came along, and it turned me from a person who was very much okay with being by herself. So I loved being with people, but I recharge solo. Solo bolo is where I recharge. That's where I like to be, by myself. I can go to the movies by myself. I can go eat dinner at a restaurant by myself. I can go to an amusement park by myself. I've never been to a concert by myself because I'm not really a concert person, but I'll do most activities that people do with people. I could do them by myself. I go hiking by myself. I've traveled by myself, gone to conferences across the United States by myself. You get the drift of what I'm saying. Yet I noticed that being a person who's okay with being solo bolo to the person I am now is totally different. I've kind of became I think the word is a recluse. I become a person where I'm okay with just being by myself. I will choose to be by myself over going with people. Not because I'm scared of them. I never was scared, even in 2020. But because I got comfortable not taking up space. I got comfortable not showing up. I got comfortable not going to the parties. I got comfortable with ignoring the text messages and just sending a text message versus calling someone and saying happy birthday. Or I used to always send cards and notes, and I kind of stopped doing that over the last 4 years. And I'm just trying to get back to who I used to be in a major way. Little Lana, the little kid version of me, who was just totally fun, totally independent, totally just open to trying new things and falling down and getting back up, and wasn't tainted by this world so much. And I've just been journaling, like I said, a lot, and doing actually visual journals, just recording myself talking to a video, just trying to figure out where things went wrong. It's like we grow up and we have all these dreams and these plans, and then we just let go of them because of whatever society told us or whatever we soaked up in our hearts. And so for me, I'm really on I'm really in this mode of figuring that out and reconnecting with people. I started doing things like just hugging my mom, just because because I realized I hadn't hugged her in so long, and I literally live with my mother. Like, I haven't hugged her in so long. And I feel ashamed of that. And when I hugged her, like, I almost didn't want to let go. I let go, but I almost didn't want to let go. I'm a person who never really grew up affectionate. My mom was always the affectionate one. Yeah, so I started to hug her more, and it feels good. Like, it really feels good. Like, so if you see this mom hugging you for the last few days has been, like, it really, really warms my heart. It really makes me feel good. And we almost got emotional right there. It makes me feel good. Hug your mom. If your mom is around, your dad, your cousin, your grandparents, your friends, embrace them, hug them, hold them tight. And for me, like I said, it's something that's kind of uncomfortable for me, but I've been doing that. Trying to do that more often and get uncomfortable with spending time with people. Get more uncomfortable with calling people, which is so funny because I prefer to call people and be with people and FaceTime people. That was always my way, but now it's like, I'd rather just send the text. It's easy. Don't have to talk about it. Matter of fact, if you message me, you could say, Lana, how are you? And I could say, I'm great. And I could literally be in a hole in the closet, crying my eyes out. Texting is just easier. But I feel like I've lost the connection with so many people being that way. I have friends that live in the same city as me, that I hadn't seen in like a year or more. Just various things that I've noticed I want to get out of. I want to get more intentional about spending time with people and quality time. My main love language is quality time. And this kind of will segue into like what I've really been thinking about, why I made this video, is when I talk about quality time, is that I think humans, we've been so disconnected. Like, we've been so attached to social media and to doing everything on the web and doing everything with tech, which is great. Technology is awesome for so many things. I just feel like humans were not connected like we used to be. And I was actually reading this book, which is so funny because the book talked about this very thought I have been really, really having for the last couple of weeks. And it's called Liking Jesus. I'll show you guys the book. I don't remember if I mentioned this on YouTube or if it was on Instagram, but it's I don't know how to say his last name, but his name's Craig. And I'll put that information in the description below. But I was reading this book and he literally talked about the very thing that I'm mentioning. And I was like, God, are you sending me a sign? Like, this is what I need to talk about next. Like, is this it? Is this it? And I really felt like it was a sign to talk about it because it's something that's been on my heart, but I haven't been talking about the things on my heart all the time on YouTube. I've just kind of been talking about the things that I think people want to hear, you know? For me, when I go out with someone or if I'm spending time with someone, I want to know that they're investing their time in me. They're not focused on the person next to us. They're not focused on a baseball game unless we're going to a place to watch a baseball game or a football game on the screen. But if we're going to eat together, we're spending time together. I don't like when people are constantly on their phone. Like, they're like, I'm just like, dude, you can't not touch your phone for 30 minutes. And I am someone who is literally working out of being addicted to technology. And I still will not use my phone when I'm with people. That's one place, like, if I'm with you, I want to pay 100% attention to you. I don't like it. I don't like it when anybody does it. I don't care if you're my grandparents, if you're my significant other, if you're just my friend. It's something that has always bothered me. To me, it feels disrespectful. And I'm saying this to say that the book explained it so well, like so well. I was like, this is exactly how I feel. And so in the book, I'm not going to read what it says. If you are interested, please pick up the book. I bought it for like $5 at Blueberry Hill Restaurant. They have a Christian bookstore here in Las Vegas, and I bought it there for $5 last year. So I'm sure online you can get it for $5 to $10, but definitely great book. But he says in the book, imagine you're at a dinner table with your friend or on a date. You're talking to them. They're talking to you. Then all of a sudden, they go and they pull out a journal and then they just start writing in their journal, or they pull out their calendar and they start looking at things in their calendar. And then they're just like, oh yeah, continue on. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah. And then next thing you know, they're talking to you, and then they just turn their head and go walk over to somebody else's table. And they're like, hey, how are you doing? How's it going? what's up? Talking, chit-chatting, and you're like, dude, we were talking, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And then they come back and they're like, oh yeah, where were we? And you're sitting here like,
what in the world?
Right? What in the world is this person drunk? Like, what is going on? But like, literally, like he shares different examples, but literally think about that. And that's how I literally feel. And I never knew how to explain it. When you're sitting at a table, when you're going on your phone, when you're with somebody, not being present with them, it's literally the same thing as going to some stranger. You're on YouTube, right? Or you're on Instagram, you're looking at your comments, somebody you don't even know. These people are commenting, you have never met them before, and you're responding to comments while you're in the presence of your friend or in the presence of your wife or your husband or your grandparents, the people who you're supposed to be spending time with, right? You don't know them. So it's just the same thing as if you were to literally get up in the middle of a conversation and walk over to somebody else's table. And some people say that's extreme, but I don't think it is. I think it's literally the same thing. You're just doing it in a contained space, like on your phone. Same thing when he said like the calendar, because I've seen people do that many of times. Like we'll be at the table and they'll just like go on their phone for no reason and look at their calendar. Same thing, pulling out a journal, or what if another example he uses, like somebody just goes and just pulls out a book. This is another book I'm reading right now. They're all on my bed because I'm reading them right now. But what if I'm talking to you right now and I just pull out Woman Who Run with the Wolves and I just start reading it, like in the middle of the video? You will get a good nugget from it. I'm not saying you won't, but it's weird, right? It's very weird. And when he gave that example, I was just like, dude, you hit it on the nail, like exactly how I feel. And so that's really what this video is about, is reminding yourself to get connected again with the people you love. And I get chills thinking about it because I've been that person where I had one of my closest friends. I'm talking to him, talking mess to him on text. And then the next day I'm like, dude, where are you at? We're supposed to be going to Dave & Buster's. Like, why aren't you answering? Are you flaking on me? Blah, blah, blah. And he's gone. One of my closest friends died in 2015 from a drunk driver. He was gone the next day. But what if when I was with him the last time, what if I was just on my phone the whole time? What if I was just on social media, on Instagram the whole time? No, I could tell you everything we were doing that day because I was not on my phone. We went to go eat. We were talking about business stuff. We were talking about how I can get to the next level in the company that I was with at the time. We were making plans, and I could remember almost every detail, everything he said almost to a T, I think, like at least the energy that was exuded from that night. How he was sending stuff to his cousin so that his cousin could start his business in Africa. Like I could remember all those details. But what if I was on my phone the whole time? I wouldn't remember that. I remember one of my teachers in high school, Mr. V, he used to always say, he was like, man, these kids, y'all just be walking down the street with your little sidekicks, And then, and like literally we would be like messaging each other. Like instead of saying, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? We're like on AIM, on AOL, it was called AOL Instant Messenger. And we're literally writing a note to the person sitting next to us. And I know people do that now. I know for sure people do it now. Technology is far more advanced than it was when I was a teenager. But literally we would do that. Or not me. I didn't literally do that unless I was sending a note, like say you're trying to say something and you don't want other people to hear. I would do that. But I wouldn't have conversations with people, but I knew people who did it all the time. And when he said it, I was cracking up. It's so true. And it's gotten worse and worse to the point where there's people who, they don't know how to act when they're around people. They don't know how to function in society because they're so used to being behind a screen. That's why it's so easy for someone to say something hurtful to you in, the comment section or even in a direct message to you because they don't know you. Most of these people wouldn't say that to your face. And I just keep thinking about that just so much, just how disconnected a lot of humans have become. And I really challenge you, like with this video, to think about where you can become more connected to people. Maybe tomorrow when it's someone's birthday that you love, you don't send them a text message. Maybe you shoot a FaceTime or you make them a video. Like I've done that before for my nephews, and my nieces did it for me my last birthday, and it was the best birthday gift like I got that day. Like I loved it. It was my favorite part. My nieces sending me a happy birthday. Like it made my whole day, a whole week really. And I saved the video and sometimes I just watch it because I'm just like, wow, that they even thought to send me that message was just so heartwarming. Maybe it's writing a note. Like I used to love to send cards. I still send cards, but I notice I send them more when somebody passed away or when somebody's going through it. It's never just like, how are you doing? I love you. I'm praying for you. If you need me, hit me up. So I challenge you to do those things. FaceTime. Go stop by your grandma's house, or go give your mom a hug, like I said, or your friend that needs something, or take a moment to listen to the person who is telling you a story, even though you may not be that interested in it, but just knowing that you might actually change the trajectory of somebody's day. There's people who literally they don't want to be here anymore. And your light, your kind words, your listening ears, your undivided attention could change their whole world. And I say this because I've been in situations where I didn't want this life. I didn't want to be here. And I was with certain individuals and they were not paying attention to me. They did not notice because they were too busy being in their phone, being in their own world, not even noticing me. And I don't mean it like I was being fake, because I could wear a mask. I could sit here and smile and be terrible inside. I mastered that a long time ago. But I mean where I was obviously in distress and they didn't notice because they're too busy. Just be open, be receptive to other people, because love is the key. Like love is so much greater, and you show your love by showing up for people, by being there for people, by loving on people. And sometimes we don't really want to do it. Like sometimes you don't feel like you have the time to chat with somebody for 5 minutes. But is it really worth it? Like to not? What if like I said, your one moment with them changes their whole life? Like I can't emphasize it enough. How your voice, your heart, your listening ear can warm somebody's life, could light up somebody's life. That's why I do my best to respond in comments, even though I know I don't get that many comments as of right now. But just being able to, I want people to be noticed, to be seen, because I know what it's like to feel unseen. And I want people to know that no matter who you are, like I may not know you, maybe I will know you in the future, but I still will send love to you. I still will listen to you. I still will send all the positive vibes and prayers to you. And if I say I'm going to pray for you, I'm going to pray for you, or I'm literally praying with you right now. And I just really want you guys to know that. And I really hope that this video encourages you to be a little different today or tomorrow or the next day. And really listen, really be attentive to people's needs, and just loving on people and loving on yourself. Because that's one of the biggest acts of love, is being there for people. Being there for people. Craig said in his book, Liking Jesus, he said something that I thought was good. He said, your presence is powerful. And I was like, dang, because there's been so many times when I didn't have the words. I didn't know what to say. But because I was there for a friend, they were more grateful than anything. Just because I was there, just because I sat by them, I cried with them, or I let them lean on my shoulder, or I slept in the bed with them, or, whatever it was. At the time, I used to drank with them. But because I was there with them, even if I didn't say anything, it meant the world to them. Be the world to someone. Because the world just needs a lot more love. Like we all need a lot more love. I need more love. You need more love. Everyone around you needs more love. And I think if we could just start that one little drop of love every day, 1% every day, a little more every single day, imagine what the world will be like. Imagine how your kids will feel when they see you loving on people that way, investing time in people that way, being patient with people that way. The ripple effect of that, like, that's what I want, a generation of love, not generational curses. I want to pass down love, gratitude, abundance, prosperity. I don't want to pass down traumas and anger and resentment and unworthiness. So that is my challenge. My challenge to you: love on people, even if it's in small ways. Write the note, the handwritten note. Leave a sticky for your significant other on the glass. Give them a kiss when you walk out the door instead of just by and leaving. Surprise them, disrupt their day with your love, with your kindness. Disrupt them. That's all I have to say. I hope you have a lovely love week. I hope you're just so filled with love, not just because it's V-Day week, but because every day is a chance to love yourself and to love others. And so with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. With all my love, Lana.